Welcome to another episode, a new year, and a new season of the Make Mental Health Matter show. I am your host, Kelli Melissa Reinhardt, and man, that's a lot of new things. We're in a new year, 2026, and I am on a new season. I was trying to pull it up, and I'm pretty sure it's like season 14-ish, something around there. So many seasons and a brand new episode for the new year. I want to start off by just saying thank you again for those of you that tune in, whether you watch or listen. There's many ways to be able to tune into the show. You can go directly to E360 TV and watch. You can also go to our YouTube channel and watch, or you can listen on Dream Vision 7 Radio. And one of my goals for this year is to get this on the podcast platform. So you gotta hold me to it because I have not been very good at uploading it onto the actual podcast platforms. But it is on YouTube, so I'm halfway there-ish. Okay, not really. But starting a new episode or a new season with the new year, and it's always exciting when the seasons change over. I haven't been the greatest at, one, being proactive, which is something that I teach everybody, but also just making sure that I'm celebrating the past episodes that we have done, and then celebrating when we do a new season. So we're going into episode, or excuse me, I'm about the episodes right now. We're going into season 14. I don't even have enough fingers for 14. If I had my toes or a few four of my toes. All right, I'm just gonna stop because let's breathe. Yes. All right. This episode, I am solo. And with that said, I want to offer those of you that do watch or listen, if you have a story that you want to share, somebody that has an amazing story that they need to share. Of course, they need to be willing. If you are an advocate or a professional in the mental health, substance use, suicide prevention intervention, if you are in another nonprofit, if you are in the wellness community, in the holistic community, if you're a healer, if you are a caregiver, if you have a story, you are a survivor, you are a loss survivor, a suicide loss survivor, a cancer survivor, whatever your story might be, I want to have you on this show. So the goal this year in 2026 is that I'm going to change it up. So one thing that I wanted to talk to you about today anyways is as we step into this new year, and this is a calendar year new year, it does not align with the Chinese New Year. So if you follow along with the Chinese New Year, you're going to have to wait till February for an actual new year to start. If you follow the universe, the astrological calendar, I think I said that right. I believe it's actually more towards April. Probably should have looked that up before I got on here, but hey, we'll figure that out later. So the Gregorian calendar did already change over to a new year, but not everybody follows that as a new year. And a lot of times we make these New Year resolutions. We're going to do this, and we want to start it right on the first, and it just doesn't feel like it aligns. Or maybe you're somebody who you're like, I'm a go-getter. I know what I want. I know what my theme is going to be, and I'm going to start it on the first. More power to you. Yes, do that. But make sure that you follow through with it. I would say that gyms are brilliant. So if you think about the concept or the model of a gym, They get overloaded with people in the new year that are like, I'm gonna be healthy, I'm gonna go to the gym, blah 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 blah, and then they start their annual membership that they're paying monthly, and then you get through month one, then you get to month two, and then you're like, I don't know if I want to go to the gym anymore. I haven't even seen any results. Like, what's happening? So then you're like, I guess I'll go. So you go a couple more times, and then by what? March, April, May, you're like, oh crap, I have a gym membership and I'm just paying it monthly. But I want to pay the cancellation fees, or maybe, hopefully, you picked a gym that didn't have cancellation fees, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll go back for a little bit, and then we go back for a little bit. But if you think about it, the business model, they're brilliant. They lock you into gym membership that you may or may not utilize. Cool, free money. All right, going back to the resolutions is that I like to pick a theme of the year. I like to kind of fill it out of like, what is something that I want to change, or what is something that would be helpful? What is a word that encompasses what I want to do or accomplish or feel, or what am I lacking that I need more of? That's kind of how I pick out my theme, and I'll write down just words, many, many, many words, and then kind of go through them and say to myself, this is the year of, and if it feels like it's going to be, then I'll circle it. Or if it doesn't, then I'll put a line through it. And I keep going down that list of words to figure out what embodies what I want to accomplish in this year. I have not done that yet. I will probably do it. I don't know. I've been tending to do it more towards like closer to end of January, February-ish, and sometimes it can be flexible. Sometimes it's like, oh yeah, that's it. And that's how I kind of roll with it. I do love following more of the Chinese New Year. I feel like the energy around the Chinese New Year is so much more powerful than, say, like the calendar year. But this year, interestingly enough, last week I had a lot of motivation, and I've gotten a ton more done in the last couple of weeks than I have probably all year, I feel like. I decided I wanted to get a lot of projects done around the house. I took some time off to spend time with my family. We went and did a lot of activities, which we don't normally do right around the holidays. And it just felt like a really good movement or momentum in my life. Interestingly enough, 2026 is all about momentum. It's all about this last year was really, really hard for people. So 2025 turned out to be a really hard, really hard year for people. It was the year of the snake, and so there was a lot of shedding. I feel like I also saw the earth was shedding in a way. There were a lot of people that passed away, unfortunately, in 2025, whether it was sudden or it was due to natural causes. But we lost a lot of, as you may have noticed, a lot of celebrities passed away in 2025. I feel like the earth was recycling itself. There was a lot of things that are changing and were changing in 2025. And a lot of that is releasing. Again, it was the year of the snake. And if we think about snakes, they shed their skin, they release what doesn't serve them, right? They can't grow with that skin holding on to them. So they shed their skin and they actually get longer as they get bigger, and they have to have new skin, right? Like as humans, we generate skin every day. Our skin is constantly shedding. and we're regenerating and healing from the inside out. And so if you think about the year of the snake, is it's that shedding the layer of the things that or figuring out like what are those layers. And I feel like that's where I was at last year. It was the busiest year I've ever had in my nonprofit. All good things, but it was like figuring out like what works, what doesn't work. How can we make things better? How can we get clearer? How can we release the things that aren't accurate or aren't serving us? Or how do we bring new energy, new people really into the space? And me personally, as a leader, as a founder, as a CEO, I had to get better at being very clear and intentional and making changes within myself so that I could help those that I like, our staff and my board members. So a couple cool things happened. We got four new board members. So we have a total of eight, including myself, would be nine. And then we also had staff members this last year. So we actually ended up with a total of, how many was it? One, two, three, seven? Was it seven total? So we work with a program that's called Arapahoe Douglas County Works. They actually give us the staff and they pay them, and we get them for 12 weeks at a time. It's kind of like an internship, but it's for people who are in between jobs, and they need kind of that boost in their resume. So it's kind of like a work internship type thing, but paid. And the program pays them and we get them as staff, which is so amazing for us. In the past, I honestly admit, I have not been the best about being very clear and intentional with how or what these staff members are working on, but towards the end of last year, I started getting even better at that. I had three at a time, which I've never had three before at one time. And I finally got into a rhythm. Like I started feeling this rhythm of what was happening. Although I was really, really busy, it was really, really good, right? And we're moving into 2026 with the same energy, and some even cooler things are happening, which is very exciting. So, why am I talking to you about all of this? Because things had to change. We can't do the same things and expect the same results. If you've ever seen the movie or heard of the movie Idiocracy, um, it is the dumbest show ever. But if you think about it, because the word itself is if you're doing the same thing, expecting the same results, that is idiocracy. And I think I'm saying it right. Let's hope so. But you have to make a change. I'm like, come on, brain, refocus, get clear. You have to make a change in order to change. Yeah, yeah. So if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like your momentum into 2026 has not launched fully yet, don't worry. Again, the Chinese New Year doesn't fall until I believe it's February 14th. Somebody can correct me if I am incorrect, and I'll actually, on our first sponsored break, I will make sure that I have the exact date because it's either the 14th or the 17th. Actually, I think it's the 14th, or excuse me, I think it's the 17th. I think I'm mixing up Valentine's Day. So what I want you to understand is that going into 2026, it is the year of the horse. Horses have a lot of momentum. They are lively, they're energetic, they're generous. And on top of that, 2026 is the fire horse. What does that mean? It adds an even better or stronger elements. I am a fire sign myself, so I get pretty excited when we add that fire, that passion, the I don't know how to explain it, but it just fires me up. And so the fire horse is really a strong, grounded. Horses are very healing. If you are somebody who has experienced equine therapy before, you absolutely know what I'm talking about. If you have not and you are not afraid of horses, I would highly recommend that you try some equine therapy because they are so healing. I never knew the power of horses until actually last year. I went and did equine therapy for the very first time, and man, it was a game changer. Just how they sense all of your energy and they like physically, one of the horses like audibly took a breath right in front of me because I was getting so worked up that that horse knew that I needed to breathe, and right in my face audibly took a breath and was like, breathe, lady. And I was like, whoa, okay, calm, and then breath. And I felt the horse's energy and my energy settling at the same time. And I noticed even all the other horses around, like their energy started to settle. It's just, anyways, super, super cool. I'm totally going on tangents right now with this whole show, and that's okay. So, two fingers. Two things before I go on our first quick sponsor break. One, if you have a story, you know somebody has a story, and you want to be a guest on this show, you can go to mmhm.org, click on the podcast or the show. I don't know what I have it listed as. I'll drop the link here. I'll grab the link while we're on our break, and get registered, get signed up. If you're in Colorado, you can come in studio and we can talk. It's so much cooler. Not cooler. It's just the energy, right, in studio is really, really cool. So if you're in Colorado, you can always come in studio. If you're not, we can do this virtual thing too. So we're going to go to our quick first sponsored break because I just promised I'd grab a whole bunch of things. So I'll be right back after this quick first sponsored break.
Have you ever felt completely alone?
Like your life doesn't matter.
One person dies due to suicide every 40 seconds.
You are not alone. Call the National Suicide Lifeline at 988.
Hope and recovery is possible.
1 in 8 people globally live with a mental disorder.
That's why empowering minds saves lives.
We need your help.
With only $19 a month, you help us save lives through mental health and suicide prevention education.
Scan the QR code or go to makementalhealthmatter.org to sign up as a warrior for mental health today.
Hi everyone, I am Sinead from Brador. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. Please join me in my Power Hour every Sunday, 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on E360 TV. Mwah!
And like that, I'm back. If you just happen to be tuning into the Make Mental Health Matter show, thank you so much for watching or listening, whichever one you are. And I am solo today again. So I've been talking a lot about the new year because we just stepped into a new year. I'm stepping into also a new episode and a new season, and I don't need to have two people on here, so let me remove one of these people from the scene. Why? Here we go. All right, that's better. All right. So why am I talking about the new year? Why am I talking about being a guest on the show? why does all of this matter? One, first and foremost, I already said, if you have a story, you know somebody that has a story. Oh, see, it's going to keep switching on me. Okay, let me 2 seconds. Give me 1 moment to figure out what's going on with my episode. Live. I'm live. It's cool. It's fine. All right. Okay, here I am. Yay. Okay. All right. So what I was talking about earlier is, and I'm gonna move this all around just because now you can see all the backside of what happens when you produce your own show. Yep. So podcasts are fun. The editing, I don't edit. I don't do any of that. So if you want to be a guest, just know we go live and I don't do any editing. I go live as if I'm going live, and I don't do editing because I love the authentic conversations that I have with myself or with my guests. And it seems like y'all enjoy that too. So I am not about being perfect. That's another thing I was going to talk about anyways. But I really, truly live by the imperfectly perfect. And I know that drives some people bonkers because, especially you type A people that are like, I need control. I have to know what's going on. Sorry, not sorry. I just, do it. Just get it done. Take action. That's what we are all about at Make Mental Health Matter, is taking action, imperfect action, because if I sit and try to make it perfect, it's going to take me forever. And nobody got time for that, right? Y'all know that saying. So, the 2026, I'm getting back to where I was. 2026 is the year of the fiery horse, which is so fun. So let me tell you a little bit about the fiery horse if you care to know. But it is, so horse is confident, agreeable, and responsible, although they also tend to dislike being reined in by others. They fit and they are fit and intelligent, adoring physical and mental exertion. They're decisive, but also easily swayed and impatient. Interesting, right? So the Chinese, which I was going to tell you, the Chinese Lunar New Year is actually on February 17th. Oh, I was like, I was close. So February 17th. So if you are somebody that is, again, you're like, January 1st doesn't really mean much to me. It's just another month. It's fine. You're like, I really like to fall more towards that energy of the Chinese New Year, or the astrological New Year. That's cool, right? So the Lunar New Year falls on February 17th, and then it kicks off a 16-day spring festival. And that's really when the year of the snake leaves and the year of the fiery horse happens. So it says, okay, I'm going to read this because I think it's super interesting. But it says, as we leave behind the introspective and intuitive year of the snake, the year of the horse gallops in with vibrant and fiery energy, symbolizing adventure, vitality, and momentum. So, if you are somebody who loves the energy of creating themes or really wants to change whatever's happening in your life, think of this as a way to be able to shift that and really move into that momentum of whatever you want. And if you continue to do the same thing the same way and expect different results, then that is the true definition of idiocracy. idiocracy, right? So make a change. If you want to change where you're at, you have to change and do things differently. So with that said, I'm going to change things up this next year. This is where I was going the whole entire time, and it took me like 20 minutes. It's fine. But I'm going to change it up this year. Last year, I had almost the whole entire year, I had guests. And towards the end of the year is the first time that I haven't really had very many guests. Maybe I didn't plan it out very well, or I just, well, yeah, that's pretty much what it was. The first of the year, I had more guests than I could even imagine that wanted to be on the show. So I started a wait list. And the moment that I created and started that wait list, I actually killed the momentum of what was happening with the show. And then getting those people to come back on was really, or coming back or getting off of the wait list, right, was challenging for me. I also had a lot of things going on with the business and everything, right? Everything is happening. And I wasn't really paying attention to the show. The cool part about that, though, is I still going live every single Monday. There was only 2 times that as you probably know, if you tune in, I did replays, and it was only 2 times this year, which that's pretty good. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. So, I want to change it up. I want to go solo every now and again. And I really want to be able to talk about what people care about, because we're moving into, yes, a brand new year, but we are also moving into a time where, to be honest, we lose the most people. And that is either to overdose, to suicide, to there's a lot of reasons. But I talked about it I don't even know how many episodes ago, but I talked about seasonal affective disorder. And we go into this like darker time during the year. If you're in Colorado, we are still sunny and it's hot, and it's weird that it's January and we have no snow. But normally we have snow, and it gets dark really early, and people start to get a little bit more depressed. So global warming is reality. Half of our ski resorts are not even open yet because they don't have enough snow. And that can cause a lot of challenges too, right? Like those people, the seasonal workers that are supposed to be working, but like they don't really have anything to do right now. So there's a lot of reasons. People just got over the holidays, and this is a time of year where there's actually the most divorces, there is the most suicide, there is the most drug use, drug abuse. There's a lot of deaths that happen by car accidents. And so why does all of this matter? Because people are struggling at alarming rates, and there's a lot of things happening within the political climate that are making it really, really challenging for people to just live their lives. So I see you. I understand, not fully, because I will never understand exactly what somebody goes through, nor will you ever understand exactly what I'm going through. But I want you to know that you are seen, and that it is not that I'm trying to promote change without understanding that it can be really, really hard. So I'm going to go to my last quick sponsored break, which is another thing that's going to change. I'm going to change all of the commercials. I didn't have them ready for this specific episode yet. Wanted to do it with a new season, but that's okay. You get it one last time, both of the sponsored break that you have seen for the last year, but those are going to be changing too. So Once we come back from the break, I want to share some information of how you can easily make those changes, and they can be small steps. It doesn't have to be something giant. So I will be right back after this quick sponsored break.
1,917 people die daily from suicide globally.
I lost my middle sister, Carrie, to a completed suicide on February 20th, 2017.
How does Kelli, host of the Make Mental Health Matter show, impact lives?
Number 1. Awareness.
My story, however, it isn't unique. I am a domestic violence survivor and a recovering addict. For 14 years, I was in active addiction, and because of Kelli and the work that she does and the opportunity to have my voice heard, I was able to stay clean and sober and have hit a year. I'm still here, and if it wasn't for Kelli answering my call the day that I thought I was going to take my life.
2. Conversation.
I'm curious, and I know that I've heard a lot in the BIPOC community, it is very hush-hush. It's like one of those things that you don't talk about. Like, you literally feel like it's not a conversation you can have. So can you talk a little bit more about that?
First, shout out to Kelli, because I'm glad that she asked the question. I researched you before I went on your show, and I saw how real and authentic you were. And I just appreciate the question, because it is different, and we have to have tough, courageous conversations. So yes, I always say I'm a triple diversity threat. I'm a Black woman with multiple disabilities. Now, I'm not really a threat, but to other people, I may be, because people fear the unknown and what they're uncomfortable with.
Number 3. Education.
Kelli's passionate commitment to mental health awareness is a beautiful thing. It's clear in her social media posts, it's clear in the resources that she puts together, in the activities that she provides, her collaboration with organizations, and the consistent way that she continues to deliver a message, encouraging people to understand that they can share openly and to break the stigma around mental health. Kelli's topics cover children and adults, talk about things that we can do as a community, things that we can do individually, and her website is packed with information and resources and all kinds of contacts that you can use to reach out, whether you're dealing with something yourself or you're looking to help somebody else who is struggling. I encourage you to check it out.
And like that, I'm back. If you happen to, I keep kicking my table and it's really loud, I'm sorry. If you happen to be joining the Make Mental Health Matter show, thank you so much for tuning in. I am by myself or on a solo episode for this one. And I don't know, maybe anyways, my brain is going faster than my mouth can. So I'm just talking today about how we can change the situation that we are currently in, especially as we move into the new year. I also started talking about New Year's resolutions, which I would recommend just creating like a theme for the year or creating goals for the year. Maybe you have your top 3 goals of the year. I'll use these fingers. I cut myself over Christmas time. So I have 2 Band-Aids on. Yay. But 3 goals for the year. What are your 3 goals that you want to hit this year? And break those down. Break them down by quarter. Break them down by month, break them down by week, break them down by day. One of my mentors talks about that is it's 3 goals per day, 3 goals per week, 3 goals per month, 3 goals per quarter, and then 3 goals per year, because that helps our brain clarify what we're trying to accomplish and it doesn't feel so overwhelming. So if that's helpful for you, roll with it. And then break those down, right? Like, what do you need? What do you need to accomplish in that time? And instead of making resolutions like going to the gym or doing this or doing that, that maybe you're not going to stick to, if you do, good for you. But not many people do. So, change it up. Change what you're doing so that you get different results. There was something that I wanted to go back to that I talked about earlier. And what was it? I don't know. It might pop back in. Talking about, that's kind of what it is. Just being imperfectly perfect, right? Not having to put the pressure on yourself to do everything perfect. Making sure that you're just taking action. You're just doing, if you think about Nike, right? Like, just do it. That's taking action on whatever it is. That's one of the core programs, the core beliefs of the Make Mental Health Matter nonprofit is that action part. If you're not taking the action, then nothing's going to happen, right? Like, we can talk and talk and talk and talk. I will reflect on myself as I always do. I am one that I will say it. And then I'm like, stop freaking saying it and just do it. Right? Like, I'm like, oh, well, we're gonna get this program rolling, and oh, I really want to do this eventually one day, or oh, I think, yeah, we do this part or this aspect, but then it's like, do we? Did we? Are we? No. So stop talking about it and do it. And I've had to tell myself, right? Like, I've had to have those honest conversations with myself of, I am giving lip service because I'm not actually doing the things that I say I'm doing. So that is something that is changing and has been changing for several months. It was one of those things that I was starting to shed away, right, in 2025, is shedding the layers, figuring out that clarity. Like, what do we really do? What is the genuine, wholehearted story that we do within Make Mental Health Matter, the nonprofit? So clarity is really, really great when you can be honest and transparent with yourself, right? Like, we talk to ourselves probably the most, and we judge ourselves probably the most. If you don't, that's great. I'm so proud of you for getting to a place that you're like, I don't really care. But most of the time, most people, we judge ourselves the most. And so how can we change that? And it starts with us. It doesn't start with other people. There's those sayings that happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from other people. It doesn't come from monetary things. It doesn't come from our environments. It comes from us. It comes from our internal process, our brain, our body, our heart, our gut, right? We have to be happy to be happy, right? And if we're not, then it shows through. So, lots of things to ponder, I guess you could say. And I said that I would go back and I would share the link to, if you want to be a guest on the show. So it's mmhm.org/show. That's so easy. I should have. Hello, Kelly, right? It's really easy. So Mary, H, Harry, M, Mary.org/show, SHOW. Sam, Harry, Owl, Water. Those are not it's okay. Remember that imperfectly perfect thing? Yep. that's what I'm following. So if you want to be a guest, go to that website and there's a link. You can either pick in person, which is in Colorado, or you can pick virtual, which would be just like I'm doing today. So lots of options. And I would love to know, honestly, like I don't do any pre checking to see if you're a good fit. I have you fill out the information, and most likely as you're going through that information, you'll figure out if you're a good fit or not based off of the questions that I'm asking. And it has been really, really cool over the last couple of years that the people who need to be on the show are my guests, and some of them I know, some of them I don't know. There's a few that I've never met up until the point that we go live, which is really, really cool. Again, that authentic conversation and just listening and providing a space for people to share their story. There's been several people on my show that it's the very first time that they've ever publicly shared their story. And I feel deeply honored to be able to share that with you as the audience. So I hope that every single guest that I bring on has been informational and maybe transformational in your life, because really truly that's the goal of this whole show, is to bring you people resources, bring you true, honest, transparent conversations that, I don't know, nobody wants to have those hard conversations. And interestingly enough, I love to have them now. I never thought that I would be at that place in my life. Like, I used to avoid those conversations. And now I love to have them because I get curious and I want to understand and I want to know why people do what they do, and what led them to the place that they're at now, because you never know. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know how somebody's going to react. And that is just even on a daily basis. Driving down the road, right? Like that person that just pissed you off or they cut you off, or they're just being a jerk, right? Like you have no idea what is actually going on in their life at that moment. So me reacting to that doesn't do anything to help the situation. It probably actually hurts the situation more, because now I'm mad and then they're mad, and that's how road rage happens, right? Now we have shows that show road rage all the time. There's constantly accidents, there are fights, and you never know what somebody has in their car. So, okay, total tangent that I just went on there too. But be aware of yourself. You can only control yourself. You have the choice to either respond, if we go back to the car template, that is not the word, the car situation, right? You have choice to respond or react to that person. It's just going to ruin your day, not really ruin their day. Maybe it does ruin their day, because I don't know how you're going to handle that, or they're going to handle it, or, but I have the choice, right? Like what I'm trying to say is that I have the choice of how I respond to people, and I also have the choice to change whatever situation I am in. I have the choice that I have to or need to make. So, that was a lot of choices that I just talked about. So we're talking about change. We're talking about choice. We're talking about being imperfectly perfect. And I know that in the past I have given you several really simple tools, that have been able to help, but it's really that switch of the mindset of, am I going to choose at this moment to react aggressive or negative or angry, or am I gonna just let it go, or am I gonna just smile and nod? Am I gonna laugh about the situation? Am I going to not worry about it and just go on with my day? because it doesn't have to affect me if I don't want it to. This is not easy. I'm not saying that it's easy, just like, I'm going to change everything and I'm going to do this better and blah, blah. Okay. But we can honestly start to make those little changes. So, I guess there's one thing that I think I've said it in the past, but normally I say to myself is it about me or is it about them? If it's about me, then I probably need to do a little bit work, like internal work, to figure out, why is it triggering me? Why am I getting upset? Why am I responding the way that I'm responding? If it's about them, I can just let it go. It's genuinely that easy of like, do I need to respond to this right now? Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. That's my choice, right? So little tiny shifts. I also, my family, we scroll a lot through videos, mainly around food, but we also, like, some of those other videos get in there, right? Like the mindset and the movement and all these things. One that I came across was a morning routine. It's so easy. Like, my brain was like, duh, like, why didn't I think about that? But it's those little tiny things. I'm like, I want to change how my body feels. I want to change how I wake up in the morning. And so I've been doing, before I go to bed, I found this video that teaches how to release like your hips, because that has been my biggest challenge. Are my hips are so locked up. I believe that that is where I store all my trauma. It used to be very much in my shoulders. I think that I started like releasing some of that, but over the last couple of weeks I've had really bad headaches. And so I'm noticing that this part is a little bit more tense. But also I've been working on at night doing these exercises that I randomly came across when I was scrolling on Instagram. So it's like the hips, it like opens up your hips. But basically, so if these are my feet, you take one foot and you like move it over, and then you do it on the other side. And then with both legs, you like open and close, kind of like a windshield wiper. And then the other one, you can do them this way. So it's like a legit windshield wiper. But it helps open up and relax your hips. And it's been actually really helping. Something super simple at night that I was like, I'm going to try it. Why not? And then when I don't do it, I'm like, oh, okay. But it helps me sleep better. It actually helps my legs so that I've never been diagnosed with restless leg syndrome, but I feel like I have a portion of it, because there are lots of times that my legs just like won't stop moving. And so it's helped with that. It's also just like, I used to get cramps in my calves, and it's been helping with that. So like something super small that I just do every single night before I go to bed. And it was like, again, a random video. Thank you to the person that put out those videos, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this. The one that I saw today is a morning routine. Did I try it this morning? No, because it was in the afternoon by the time I saw it. But tomorrow, it's definitely something that I can try. It's something that's easy to fit into my routines, and it's not like this giant, like, I gotta go to exercise, I gotta go to the gym, I gotta like get my clothes on, I like have to do my makeup and all the things, right? Like, I can just legit get up, get out of bed, and do the little morning routine right there. And it's fast. It's like, I don't even know what part of them, but they're all really super easy things, and it's like 10 different things that you do in a row, and it's like pretty quick. It will maybe take like 15 minutes, if that, but it's something simple that I can just insert into my day. So that's what I'm talking about is, if you're like me and you're a scroller, or you love to listen to podcasts, which, you know, you love to listen to mine, thank you so much. But if you need just some tools, I highly recommend just finding chiropractors are great to tap into, physical therapists are great to tap into, holistic healers are great to tap into, Reiki is great to tap into. I'm trying to think who are the pelvic floor therapists are amazing to tap into. If you are like me and you have hip challenges, they are great to tap into. So search those people up and find the videos. You can look on YouTube Shorts, you can look on Instagram, you can look on Facebook. I find them all over the TikTok if you like TikTok. But check those out, because honestly, just inserting one thing and try it for a month. If it works, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. Try something else, right? But you may see that you're starting to just shift and change a little bit, and little by little, that's how we get to our goals, honestly. It doesn't have to be this giant list of to-do things like I have, but I also section them out, right? Like, just keep plugging away. And that is the action that you're taking on a daily basis. Do the things that seem scary. Do the things that you don't want to do. Do those first, and then tackle the things that are really easy, right? Because then that retrains our brain to know that we can do hard things, and we can, can't we? That's right. Yes, we can. So, I invite you with this year to step into whatever that theme is. Step into your goals. Step into change. Step into the momentum of the fiery horse, that confidence, that energy, that healing space. I will have some very cool and exciting announcements, but I'm going to wait till the next episode because, that's what I do. So, until then, I hope you have and had an amazing holidays, whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate. I hope that you had an amazing new year, and definitely make sure you come back next Monday. I go live every single Monday at 5 p.m. on E360 TV and YouTube. And also at 5 a.m. or 5 p.m. you can listen on Dream Vision 7 Radio, and that is Mountain Denver time if you're looking for the conversion. So no matter what, you can always go back to YouTube. They're on if you go check out that mmhm.org/show, you can actually see where everything is up, and you can listen at any point in time. You can go back and watch these anytime. So my goal and my promise to you for this new year is that I will be putting all of these onto a podcast platform. I will get that completed, and you're going to see some new commercials that are coming out next episode. If you are somebody who wants to sponsor those commercials and you want to buy one of those sponsored spots, I will gladly take off our Make Mental Health Matter promotions or sponsorships and add you in there. So those sponsorship spots are open, and there's 2 of them. I can even fit in a third short one. So if you want to know more information about that, go to mmhm.org/show. That is Mary, Mary, Harry, Mary.org/show, SHOW. I'll catch you next time. Bye, y'all.